Hello, Westford. Special town meeting voters approved all 12 articles on the warrant this week. Lori Trahan, the Democratic nominee for U.S. Congress, stopped by the WestfordCAT studios. And one of the town's most recognizable figures just announced her retirement. I'm Tracy Tebro, a WestfordCAT board member, and it's time for WestfordCAT News. Before we get started, I'd like to remind you to subscribe to our free daily newsletter with all the latest Westford news delivered to your inbox. Just visit westfordcatnews.org and click on the red subscribe button in the upper right-hand corner. Voters at special town meeting approved all 12 warrant articles on October 15th. The meeting started at 7:05 with a quorum of 208 and ended just before 10 p.m. Among the most controversial measures was a request by selectmen to transfer $700,000 from the Capital Stabilization Fund to purchase the residential property of 63 Main Street. $600,000 of those funds represent the purchase price of the 2.93-acre property. The remainder will go towards securing the building. The measure passed by a 2/3 majority, but only after sharp opposition. Here's voter Buzz Gilogly digging into selectmen's recommendation to purchase the property.
Also, I'd like to point out that this property would probably be a prime property for private buyers. And are we preempting that opportunity?
No, in fact, the owner's decision was to go to a private bid process, which began, we were alerted to it November 11th, September 11th rather. They were due within like 10 days. And so her decision was not to go to the open market. Her decision was to use a private bid situation. And we were one of, I know, 3 bidders. I do not know who the other 2 were. That's why it's private bid.
I see. All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And here's neighbor Dana Barisano voicing his opposition.
I oppose the town owning or being involved in putting a municipal building at 63 Main Street. I believe this motion goes against the philosophy of what the town wants regarding the integrity of that center. I believe your motion just leaves it too broad in terms of what can happen to that piece of property.
Watch the entire special town meeting at westfordcat.org. Lori Trahan, the Democratic nominee for the 3rd District congressional seat, came to the WestfordCAT studios on October 12th to speak with news director Joyce Polino-Crane on the set of Crane's show Main Street. The half-hour interview covered Trahan's early years growing up in Lowell and her stand on key political issues. Trahan tells viewers how she made it to Georgetown University on a volleyball scholarship and what she did after college. Here she is reviewing her political career experience.
You know, I was the first person in my family to graduate from college, and from there I went to work on Capitol Hill. I worked for Congressman Marty Meehan in his Washington office. Worked up here in the district, ran the district office, and eventually became his chief of staff, which was, laid a lot of groundwork for this run. I worked on campaign finance reform. That was, bipartisan legislation that took the corruptive influence of money out of politics, and so I really understood and understand the legislative process and how to work with Republicans. Up here, working with state and local government to get economic development projects funded and help revitalize, cities across the district. So I know this district well.
To see the entire Main Street episode, visit westfordcat.org. Registered voters on a tight schedule can cast their ballots at Westford Town Hall in advance of the November 6th election. Town officials have posted the early voting schedule online. Visit westfordma.gov for dates and times. And now for our feature of the week. Sheila Curley, Westford Academy's traffic safety officer, announced her retirement earlier this month, causing Principal James Antonelli to voice dismay at the September 24th school committee meeting.
Our traffic lady, Sheila Curley, who we introduced you to last year,
Yes, with her.
announced her retirement as of November 30th.
Oh, no.
You see all the blood rush from my head right now?
She's
There's an additional
irreplaceable.
reason.
Curley has been directing traffic at the intersection of Patton and Cold Spring Roads for a decade. It began with a phone call from Antonelli in 2008, just after February school vacation. Antonelli asked Curley to conduct traffic in the mornings and afternoons as the buses arrived, when students and educators were coming and going from the school's parking lot, in cars and on foot. Curley had retired 4 years earlier after 27 years with the Westford Police Department, but she said she couldn't say no to Antonelli. Curley became a fixture and was well known to just about every WA student and parent over the past 10 years. Some in town may remember Curley from her years of directing traffic at the Nabnasset School, at Minot's Corner before the lights were installed, and at the Interstate 495 ramp on Boston Road. In February, she was named the AAA Northeast Traffic Safety Officer of the Year for her decade of work directing high school traffic regardless of weather. On February 12th, Antonelli and Westford Police Captain Mark Chambers presented the 37-year town employee with a plaque at the school committee meeting and new gear for directing traffic.
She gets more accolades than any person at Westford Academy. There are people that send me emails and phone calls saying, who is that person out there? She's a breath of fresh air. She moves that traffic along every single morning, and I can't thank her enough. Right following a vacation this year will be 10 years that she's been out there directing traffic just for Westford Academy. We thought maybe it'd be time for a snazzy new crossing guard hat, pants, or traffic person, and jacket.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Curley has happy memories of her tenure, telling WestfordCAT that she had never heard a bad word or had any problems with a student. Curley also said she'll miss her traffic duties despite the challenges of directing vehicles in frigid cold weather, pouring rain, or hot temperatures. Her last day is November 30th. Commercial property developer and philanthropist Bill Cummings came to Westford on October 10th to share history with residents and promote his new book of memoirs entitled Starting Small and Making It Big. Cummings and his wife Joyce established the Cummings Foundation some years ago and have been presenting local nonprofit organizations with grants. 4 of these recipients are located right here in Westford. In 2015, the Cameron Senior Center received a $100,000 grant to be paid in increments of $20,000 over 5 years. Among other things, the money can be used to help seniors in crisis pay for utilities, rent, and medical bills. In 2016, Habitat for Humanity of Greater Lowell received a grant of $100,000 to build a small pocket park on Franklin Street in Lowell and a duplex house on Adams Street, also in Lowell. Then, in 2018, the organization received another $300,000 over 10 years to be used for the home repair program for veterans, seniors, and disabled people. In 2014, the Friends of East Boston Camps received $100,000 in a lump sum to rebuild the bathhouse for summertime day campers. The Rowdenbush Community Center received $100,000 over 3 years, beginning in 2017. The money will go towards resurfacing the Rowdenbush organization's 3 playgrounds and will help pay for some equipment. Here's news from Town Hall.
Hi, I'm Jody Ross here with your weekly update. So we had town meeting this week, and one of the articles that town meeting approved was the purchase of 63 Main Street. And here I am today at 63 Main Street. This house was built in 1893. It does have a rich history. Some of that is available on our website. And the town is not sure what they're going to do with this property yet. The Board of Selectmen will be considering forming a committee at their next meeting on Tuesday, October 23rd, to study this property and also make a recommendation for the future. But I'd like to show you around a little bit. So this property has a beautiful beech tree, which I don't know how old it is, but my guess is well over 100 years. And unfortunately, you can see there is a crack down the middle of it. The tree has split in 2, and there's water that's in between the crack. So I had an arborist come look, and he said the tree definitely needs to come down. Half of the tree is in danger of falling on Rowdenbush, our newly refinished project, and the other half is in danger of falling on the 63 Main Street house. So once the town purchases the property, we will have this tree taken down promptly. So we're at the back of the house right now, and one of the points that the architect brought up was that the foundation is remarkably intact. And it's also very interesting in that the blocks are not all the same shape or size. So this is certainly something that is salvageable, and actually there's no water issues in the basement. So this is a barn or another structure in the back of the property that's actually in very good shape. The interior has wood floors, and it is two-story. If the town didn't purchase this could be converted into a multiple unit dwelling along with the main house. So we just wanted to provide you with a little close-up view of the 63 Main Street property that the town is investigating. We will have environmental testing done this week and continue to look at buttoning up this building after closing in November. And it's a lovely property, and we appreciate your support. If you're interested in getting on the committee to determine what the future uses of this to bring to a future town meeting, please fill out a citizen activity form on our website, westfordma.gov. Thank you very much. Until next time.
There's a chill in the air with November approaching. Let's see what weather.com is forecasting for the coming week. Here's WestfordCAT volunteer Betsy Alvarez with suggestions for things to do in the area.
Thanks, Tracy. The Viking Theater Company at Neshoba Valley Technical High School will host a Halloween paint night on Thursday, October 25th from 5 to 9 p.m. The night is hosted by the Talented Palettes. Limited slots are available. The cost is $35 for materials, and instruction and refreshments will be served. To RSVP, email Emily Smith at esmith@neshobatech.net. Proceeds benefit the Viking Theater Company, which is producing Xanadu in December. On stage at the Lowell Memorial Auditorium on October 26th, beginning at 8 p.m. is Friends, the musical parody. The play lampoons the 1990s TV show Friends, celebrating the wacky misadventures of a group of 20-something pals as they navigate the pitfalls of work, life, and love in Manhattan. Tickets start at $29 and can be purchased at lowellauditorium.com. WestfordCAT is presenting tips for interacting with the media. What to do when the news is good and when it's not. On Wednesday, October 24th, from 6:30 to 7:30 p.m. here at the WestfordCAT studio. News Director Joyce Pauline Crane will give you tips on how to act when a reporter calls what off the record and on background means, and why some intriguing stories never get written. There will be a question and answer period and the opportunity to speak with the presenter after the program ends. The program is free of charge, but registration is requested. Email jcrane@westfordcat.org to register. This is Betsy Alvarez, a WestfordCAT volunteer. Back to you, Tracy.
That's it for now, Westford. We leave you with images from town meeting.